The 2024-25 season was a historic one for the Kansas City Chiefs, who finished with a 15-2 regular season record, clinched their 9th consecutive AFC West title, and secured the AFC's #1 seed with a first-round bye. Despite their dominance, the Chiefs fell short of an unprecedented Super Bowl three-peat, losing 40-22 to the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 59. Key moments defined their campaign: a 9-0 start, the first since 2013, highlighted by a Week 7 win over the San Francisco 49ers, a thrilling 32-29 AFC Championship victory over the Buffalo Bills, where Patrick Mahomes threw for 245 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, and a franchise record 15 wins, tying the 2015 Carolina Panthers for the most in a 17-game season. However, their Super Bowl loss exposed vulnerabilities, as the Eagles' dominant defensive front overwhelmed Kansas City's offensive line, sacking Mahomes 5 times. Strengths and weaknesses. Strengths: the Chiefs' offense, led by Mahomes, 3,928 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 67.5% completion rate, excelled in clutch situations, going 12-0 in one-score games. The defense, under Steve Spagnuolo, ranked 13th in Football Power Index, FPI, and 5th in points allowed, 17.8 per game, with Chris Jones, 10.5 sacks, and Trent McDuffie, 7 pass deflections, anchoring a versatile unit. Andy Reid's play calling and Mahomes' improvisational brilliance ensured Kansas City remained the AFC's gold standard. Weaknesses: the offensive line, particularly at left tackle, was a persistent issue. Mahomes was sacked 36 times in the regular season, the most in his career, with Joe Thuney shifting from guard to tackle mid-season to stabilize the position. The receiver core, hampered by injuries to Rashee Rice, knee, and Marquise Brown, shoulder, relied heavily on rookie Xavier Worthy, 638 yards, 6 touchdowns. The offense's inability to score over 30 points in any regular season game, the first two-time defending champion to do so since the 1956 Cleveland Browns, highlighted inconsistency. Injuries and departures. Injuries to Isaiah Pacheco, Fibula, Rice, and Brown tested the offense's depth, though all returned for the playoffs. The Chiefs used a 3-week break after clinching the top seed to heal key players like Mahomes, ankle, and Jones, calf. Off-season departures loom large. Guard Joe Thuney was traded to the Chicago Bears, safety Justin Reid signed with the Saints, defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton joined the Panthers, and DeAndre Hopkins moved to the Baltimore Ravens after playing under 50% of snaps post-trade. These losses, particularly Thuney and Wharton, weaken the trenches, critical against physical opponents like the Eagles. The off-season shakeup. Key additions and departures. The Chiefs made strategic moves to address 2024's shortcomings. The most significant change is the appointment of a new offensive coordinator, with Matt Nagy promoted from quarterbacks coach to replace Eric Bieniemy, who left for a head coaching role elsewhere. Nagy, who served as Chiefs OC from 2016 to 2017, brings familiarity with Mahomes and Reid's system, emphasizing quick passing and run-pass options, RPOs, to counter aggressive defenses. His 2018 stint with the Bears saw Chicago ranked 9th in scoring, 26.3 points per game, suggesting potential to unlock Kansas City's offense. Key additions. Jalen Moore, LT, free agent signed from the 49ers to solidify left tackle. Moore 6'4", 311-pound frame and 82.3 Pro Football Focus, PFF, pass blocking grade in 2024 address Mahomes' blindside protection. Christian Fulton, CB, free agent. The ex-Charger bolsters the secondary, with 43 tackles and 2 interceptions in 2024, replacing L'Jarius Sneed, traded to Tennessee. Gardner Minshew, QB, free agent signed as Mahomes' backup. Minshew's 3,305 passing yards with Indianapolis in 2023 provide insurance. Re-signings: running back Kareem Hunt, 728 yards, 7 touchdowns in 2024, wide receivers Marquise Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster ensure offensive continuity. Key departures: beyond Thuney, Reid, Wharton, and Hopkins, wide receiver Sky Moore's doubtful status, abdomen injury, and minimal 2024 impact, 0 snaps since October, suggest he may not return. These losses thin the defensive front and offensive line depth, areas exposed in the Super Bowl. Draft picks and contributions. The Chiefs' 2025 draft class, with 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, including an extra third-rounder from the Sneed trade, targets youth and versatility. Josh Simmons, OT, Ohio State, round 1A, 6'5", 310-pound tackle recovering from a 2024 knee injury, Simmons projects as a future left tackle but may start at right tackle, allowing DJ Humphries to slide inside. Jalen Royals, WR, Utah State, Round 2 Royals 1,193 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns in 2024 college season add a deep threat, easing pressure on Worthy and Rice. Omar Normanlot, DT, Tennessee, Round 3A 6'3", 305-pound disruptor with 5.5 sacks in 2024, he fills Wharton's role as a rotational pass rusher. Jaquan Miller, LB, UDFA an undrafted gem, Miller's speed and coverage skills could earn him a special teams role. These rookies, particularly Simmons and Royals, are expected to contribute immediately, with Simmons addressing the line's woes and Royals stretching defenses. Financial situation. The Chiefs face a tight salary cap, with $20.5 million in projected 2026 space per over the cap, complicated by Mahomes' $66.2 million 2025 cap hit. General Manager Brett Veach has prioritized draft picks over splashy free agent signings. As noted in his comment, "Our free agency will be our draft." Re-signing Hunt, Brown, and Smith-Schuster preserved cap flexibility, but looming extensions for Jones, $25.3 million AAV, and McDuffie could strain resources. Converting Mahomes' $32.3 million roster bonus into a signing bonus could free $25.8 million, enabling a mid-tier signing, e.g., a veteran guard or edge rusher. However, the Chiefs' limited cap restricts blockbuster moves, making draft success critical. Projected starting lineup. Based on roster moves and player development, here's the Chiefs' projected 2025 starting lineup: 4-3 defense, 11 personnel offense. Offense. QB, Patrick Mahomes. RB, Isaiah Pacheco. WR, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Royals. TE, Travis Kelce. LT, Jalen Moore. LG, Trey Smith. C, Creed Humphrey. RG, Jawan Taylor. RT, Josh Simmons. Defense. DE, George Karlaftis, Charles Omenihu. DT, Chris Jones, Omar Normanlot. LB, Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil, Leo Chenal. CB, Trent McDuffie, Christian Fulton. S, Shamari Connor, Jaden Hicks. Special Teams. K, Harrison Butker. P, Matt Ariza. Kick returner/punt returner, Mecole Hardman. Potential new additions and impact. The Chiefs could target a veteran guard, e.g., Cam Robinson, or edge rusher, e.g., Hasten Reddick, in free agency to bolster depth. A trade for a number 2 receiver like T. Higgins, as speculated by ESPN's Matt Bowen, would diversify the passing game, pairing with Rice and faster-paced approach, as noted by Mahomes on X, excited for Nagy's energy. "We're gonna play fast." Previous offensive scheme. Strengths and weaknesses. Under Bieniemy and Reed, the 2024 Chiefs ran a West Coast-inspired offense with spread concepts, emphasizing play action, deep shots, and Mahomes' improvisational brilliance. Strengths included Mahomes' clutch play, 10-0 in one-possession games, Travis Kelce's reliability, 65 catches, 680 yards, and a versatile run game led by Isaiah Pacheco, 5.1 yards per carry. The offense ranked 9th in EPA per play, 0.082, and excelled in 2-minute drills, with Mahomes' 106.6 playoff passer rating showcasing his postseason dominance. Weaknesses were evident, however. The offensive line struggled, allowing 36 sacks, the most in Mahomes' career, due to instability at left tackle. Injuries to Rashee Rice, knee, and Brown, shoulder, exposed a lack of receiver depth, forcing reliance on Worthy and Kelce. The offense's inability to score 30-plus points in any regular season game, a franchise first since 2006, highlighted early down inefficiency, 15th in EPA on first downs. Bieniemy's conservative play calling in key moments, like the Super Bowl's predictable run-heavy approach, drew criticism on X, prompting the shift to Nagy. The new offensive scheme. Nagy's scheme retains Reed's West Coast roots but introduces a high-tempo, RPO-heavy philosophy inspired by his 2018 Bears tenure, 9th in scoring, 26.3 points per game, and modern college offenses. Core principles include up-tempo pace, increasing snaps per game, 62.4 in 2024, 18th in NFL, to wear down defenses, using no-huddle and quick snaps to exploit tired fronts. RPO and motion, leveraging Mahomes' pre-snap reads with RPOs and jet motion to create mismatches, especially for Worthy and Royals. Vertical emphasis, stretching defenses with deep routes, capitalizing on Royals' 18.5 yards per catch and Worthy's 4.21-second 40-yard dash. Balanced attack, integrating Pacheco and Hunt's physical running with play action to counter aggressive pass rushes, as seen in Philadelphia's 5-sack Super Bowl performance. Nagy's goal, per his press conference, is to get the ball out quicker and let our playmakers work, addressing 2024's 2.8-second average time to throw, 10th longest in NFL. The core elements of the new scheme. Offensive philosophy, pace and tempo. Nagy's scheme prioritizes pace to disrupt defensive substitutions and exploit fatigued secondaries. In 2017, his Chiefs' offense ranked 5th in plays per game, 65.8, and he aims to push the 2025 Chiefs past 65 snaps, per ESPN's Adam Teicher. Pre-snap motion, used on 48.2% of 2024 plays, will increase to confuse coverages, with Worthy and Royals running jet motion to draw safety attention. The no-huddle, used sparingly in 2024, 8.3% of drives, will feature prominently in 2-minute situations, leveraging Mahomes' 68.4% completion rate in hurry-up scenarios. This high-tempo approach risks turnovers and offensive line penalties, as seen in Nagy's 2018 Bears, 12th in offensive penalties. The Chiefs' 2024 line, with 28 false starts and holding calls, must improve discipline, especially with rookies like Simmons. Nagy's challenge is balancing speed with precision, ensuring Mahomes' 10 interceptions in 2024 don't rise. Utilizing talent. The scheme is tailored to Kansas City's skill players. Wide receivers, Worthy, 638 yards, 6 touchdowns in 2024, and Royals form a speed-heavy duo, running go routes and crossing patterns to exploit man coverage. Rice, returning from injury, handles intermediate routes, while Smith-Schuster's veteran savvy targets soft zones. Nagy's use of stacked formations, as seen in his Bears playbook, will create rub routes for Worthy and Royals, projecting 1,800 combined yards. Running backs, Pacheco's 5.1 yards per carry and Hunt's 728 yards in 2024 anchor a physical ground game. RPOs will feature Pacheco on zone reads, with Hunt as a checkdown option, 28 catches in 2024. Their 12 combined touchdowns could rise to 15 in Nagy's run-pass balance. Tight end, Kelce, at 36, remains a focal point with 65 catches in 2024. Nagy's scheme uses him in seam routes and option routes, though rookie Colston Briningstool may spell him to preserve his health. Kelce's 680 yards could dip to 600, with Briningstool adding 200 to 300 yards as a secondary target. Challenges and improvements. The scheme's reliance on pace could strain the offensive line, particularly Simmons and Moore, who face elite edge rushers like Philadelphia's Josh Sweat. The 2024 line's 36 sacks allowed must-drop to 25 or fewer, requiring improved communication to handle stunts and blitzes. Spagnuolo's 41.2% pressure rate exposed this in practice. Receiver separation, a 2024 issue, 2.8 yards average separation, 22nd in NFL, needs Royals and Worthy to win one-on-one matchups. Nagy must also avoid overcomplicating plays, as his 2019 Bears ranked 29th in offensive DVOA due to overly complex calls. Simplifying early down concepts and leveraging Mahomes' improvisation will be key. Impact on Patrick Mahomes. Adapting Mahomes' play style. Mahomes, with 32,352 career passing yards and a 106.6 playoff passer rating, thrives in read system, but Nagy's scheme will push him to release the ball faster. His 2.8-second average time to throw in 2024, coupled with 36 sacks, necessitates quicker decisions, aligning with Nagy's 2.5-second target, similar to Mitch Trubisky's 2018 Bears. RPOs will enhance Mahomes' pre-snap reads, as seen in his 71.4% completion rate on RPO plays in 2024. However, the up-tempo pace may reduce his signature deep scrambles, 8.7 yards per scramble, third among QBs, shifting focus to pocket movement and checkdowns to Hunt. More passing opportunities and explosive plays. Nagy's vertical emphasis suits Mahomes' arm strength, with 25.6% of his 2024 passes traveling 20-plus yards, fourth in NFL. Royals and Worthy's speed should increase explosive plays, 20-plus yard gains, which dropped to 48 in 2024, 15th in NFL, from 62 in 2022. Projections suggest Mahomes could throw for 4,400 yards and 32 touchdowns, surpassing his 3,928 yards and 26 touchdowns in 2024. Stacked formations and motion will create single coverage for Worthy, whose 14.2 yards per catch could yield 10-plus touchdowns. However, Mahomes' 10 interceptions may rise to 12 if he forces deep throws against cover 2 schemes, as seen in the Super Bowl, 2 picks. Challenges in adjustment. Mahomes' adjustment to Nagy's faster tempo may lead to early miscues, particularly with new linemen Moore and Simmons. His 67.6 QBR in 2024, his second lowest, reflected timing issues with injured receivers, and integrating Royals requires chemistry building. Nagy's play calling, criticized in Chicago for predictability, 29th in third down conversions in 2019, must avoid telegraphed RPOs that elite coordinators like Jim Schwartz exploit. Mahomes' trust in Reid's system mitigates these risks, but his 68.7% completion rate could dip to 66% early as he adapts to Nagy's cadence. Early predictions and key takeaways. Offensive production. The new scheme should boost the Chiefs' offense from 2024's 23.6 points per game, 12th in NFL, to 26 to 28 points, approaching their 2018 peak, 35.3. Mahomes projected 4,400 yards, paired with 1,800 yards from Worthy and Royals, and 1,200 rushing yards from Pacheco and Hunt, could push total offense to 6,200 yards, top 5. Explosive plays should rise to 55 to 60, with third down conversions improving from 41.7%. Strengths and weaknesses. Strengths: Mahomes' elite play, Worthy and Royal speed, and Pacheco's physicality align with Nagy's vertical, RPO-driven scheme. Kelsey's reliability and Reid's oversight ensure schematic flexibility, while the defense, 13th in FPI, supports a high-scoring offense. The Chiefs' 12-0 record in one-score games in 2024 bodes well for close contests. Weaknesses: the offensive line's inexperience, potential Kelsey regression, and receiver depth, if Brown or Rice underperform, are concerns. Nagy's unproven play calling and the scheme's penalty risk could stall drives, especially against disciplined defenses like Buffalo's. Chances of success. The Chiefs are projected to finish 12-5, winning a 10th straight AFC West title, with DraftKings -115 Super Bowl odds reflecting their contender status. The scheme's explosiveness gives them a 75% chance of reaching the AFC Championship, per Sportsline, but Buffalo's offense and Philadelphia's defensive line pose threats. Nagy's success in unlocking Mahomes and the young receivers could push Kansas City to Super Bowl 60, though a repeat title is a 25% probability given their tough schedule, 10 games versus 2024 playoff teams. The coaching conundrum. Is Andy Reid still the answer? Andy Reid, in his 13th season with the Chiefs, is a cornerstone of their dynasty. With 3 Super Bowl rings and the second most postseason wins among active coaches, his track record is unimpeachable. Reid's offensive genius, schemes that maximize Mahomes' creativity and Kelsey's route running, has kept Kansas City ahead of the curve. His ability to adapt, like incorporating veterans Kareem Hunt and DeAndre Hopkins mid-2024, shows a willingness to evolve. The coaching staff, led by Reid and coordinators Steve Spagnuolo, defense, and Matt Nagy, offense, has navigated roster turnover effectively. Spagnuolo's top 2 scoring defense in 2024, despite losing key players like L'Jarius Sneed, proves his schematic brilliance. Nagy's play calling, while occasionally criticized, has maximized a receiving core hampered by injuries. Reid's decision to stick around post-Super Bowl LAX, despite retirement speculation, signals his hunger for a 4th ring. However, at 67, questions about Reid's longevity linger. The NFL's evolving landscape, younger coaches, new offensive trends, demands constant innovation. While Reid's staff has adapted well, e.g., bolstering the defensive line to counter elite quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, the Super Bowl loss exposed preparation gaps, particularly in pass protection. Reid's ability to integrate rookies like Simmons and Gil-Latte while maintaining veteran cohesion will be critical. His track record suggests he's still the answer, but the margin for error is shrinking. The road to the Super Bowl. A look at the Chiefs' schedule. The Chiefs' 2025 schedule is a gauntlet, with key divisional matchups and a tough overall strength of schedule. The AFC West remains competitive, with the Los Angeles Chargers, led by Justin Herbert, and Denver Broncos, emerging under Sean Payton, posing threats. Kansas City's 9 straight AFC West titles give them an edge, but divisional games, especially 2 against the Chargers, will test their depth. A reported international game in 2025 adds another wrinkle. Beyond the division, marquee matchups loom. A potential Week 1 game in Brazil, as noted by Fox Sports' David Hellman, could set the tone. Games against playoff-caliber teams like the Baltimore Ravens, Philadelphia Eagles, a Super Bowl rematch, and Buffalo Bills will gauge Kansas City's mettle. The Chiefs' schedule includes 10 games against 2024 playoff teams, per early projections, making it one of the NFL's toughest. Opportunities exist, though. Home field advantage, secured in 6 of the last 7 postseasons, is likely with Mahomes at the helm. The Chiefs' experience in high-pressure games, 7 straight AFC championship appearances, gives them a mental edge. Challenges include integrating new linemen against elite pass rushers and managing injuries to key players like Pacheco. If the revamped offensive line holds and the defense maintains its 2024 form, Kansas City could navigate this slate and secure a top seed. The future of the dynasty. Can the Chiefs remain at the top? The Chiefs' long-term prospects hinge on Mahomes, who, at 29, is far from his peak's end. His contract, restructured to manage cap space, ensures he's the centerpiece through 2031. Young talents like Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Trent McDuffie, a second-team All-Pro, provide a foundation for sustained success. The draft haul, Simmons, Gil Lutte, and wideout Jalen Royals, adds depth and potential stars. General Manager Brett Veach's savvy, e.g., snagging Hopkins for a 5th-round pick, keeps the roster competitive despite a tight $12 million cap space. However, sustainability faces hurdles. Kelsey's contract decision looms. His $11.5 million roster bonus due March 15, 2025, forces a choice between extension or retirement. The offensive line's health and cohesion remain concerns, especially with Simmons' injury. Free agency losses, Derek Nady to the Jets, Mecole Hardman to the Packers, require constant retooling. Reed's eventual retirement, though not imminent, will be a seismic shift. External challenges include a rising AFC, with quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow vying for supremacy. The Chiefs' ability to stay ahead depends on Veach's draft hits and Reed's schematic edge. While dynasties fade, Kansas City's infrastructure, Mahomes,